y'all? It's me, Chris, back with another video. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing the difference between gender and sexuality because a lot of y'all are confused and I'm here to educate the children. But before we get into that, I just want to remind y'all that we are on a journey of building this channel to 500 subscribers. So if this is your first time stumbling upon my channel, I'd ask you to please watch this video in full, even go back and watch a few of my previous videos to get a feel of who I am and what I like to discuss here on this channel. And if you enjoy my content, I ask you to please subscribe and be a part of the Crispy Noah family. We out here, fam. We out here growing. What Kelly say? Growth. That's all I want for 2020. Speaking of growth, I am continuing my school journey. I'm now in my second semester of college. I'm taking 2 classes. 2. It's okay so far. It's not overwhelming. I haven't tweeted out anything. I haven't had to rant about anything on YouTube about school thus far. So I'm handling it okay. But I'm taking Perception of an African American Male, and I'm taking Intro to Sociology. And I gotta say, like, I really outdid myself. I really think I have like a nice 1-2 combo. The classes are very complementary of each other. Like, there's a lot of the same theories and ideologies that you would see being talked about as far as like the systems and structures, and just the experiences of Black men and correlation to how sociology, how you use those tools from sociology to be able to unpack all that stuff. All the perception of African American male, it's really good fucking shit. Like, I actually feel like I'm learning. Unlike last semester, I took communications, and this is just for me. I don't think I'm gonna sound conceited when I say this, but I do believe like I'm a good communicator. So a lot of the things that I was learning in comm class was just reaffirming and identifying the things that I already do. It was more of like, oh, okay, so that's what that is, you know. Whereas in sociology and this African American class, I'm like, damn, I never thought of that before. I'm being taught new ideas, new theories, new information. I'm loving it so much. So school's going okay thus far. I will keep y'all updated when I will be stressing the fuck out, because I know it's gonna be coming soon. Y'all already know. Y'all already know. If you've been following me since last semester, like, there's definitely in a few videos where I have to go off on little tirades about school and shit like that, and just how much I hate higher education. I like learning, but the systems in which higher education is presented in this country, trash. Anywho, so I want to have this conversation about gender and sexuality, right? Because there's just too much misinformation. There's just way too many assumptions, way too many projections, just way too many conclusions that I'm just like, where did you get that from? Nowhere. You just pulled out your ass. Okay, cool. Since you're just pulling things out your ass, let me inform you in the meantime. So, gender is essentially how you see yourself, how you would like to present yourself to the world, how you would like to identify. That is what your gender is. Being cisgender as myself means that at birth I was assigned the gender of male, and as I have grown up through childhood and puberty, adolescence, and adulthood, I identify as the gender that I was born. Now, that is cisgender. Trans means that at that gender you were identified as female or male, and you have now transitioned into something that is other than what you were assigned. This also applies to being non-binary. You can also trans. Anything that is not of the identity that you were assigned at birth will essentially identify you as trans. But we're not talking about non-binary. That's a whole other conversation. I want to specifically talk about like transness. So those are 2 differences in gender. Like, if I tell you I would like to go by he, I identify with being a man. If I want to tell you that I would like the pronouns of she and her, I'm identifying as a woman. That is what gender is. It's how you present yourself. It's how you would like the world to address you as. Now, people also use markers and identifiers of such to let people know that through clothes, through way you present your hair, the way you just present yourself as a whole being, your name, for example, as well. Now, sexuality is essentially who you are attracted to. It has nothing to do with how you identify, it has all to do with who you find which gender to be attractive. I honestly think that's pretty much what it is. Your gender is who you present as, your sexuality is who you are attracted to. There's just been so much conflation with gender and sexuality, and gender and sexuality are not synonymous. You can be a man and be attracted to women, which what you identify as being straight, and you can be a man and attracted to other men and you would identify as being gay. So do you see how in which depending on who you are attracted to that determines your sexuality, but that has nothing to do with how you identify. That how you identify has all to do with how you feel. And the reason why I wanted to just make this simple breakdown of it is because there's just been so many people with large platforms inserting their own ignorant, ill-informed opinions on the conversation that has been around Zaya Wade. You had Little Bootsy talking about don't cut your child's penis off. What about if he wants to marry a woman? Constantly misgendering Zaya through the whole entire video. It's like, one, why are you even concerned about this child's genitals? That's creepy and weird of itself. That's the last thing I'm worrying about, and the betterment of my children and the well-being of my children is their fucking genitals, unless there's like some actual external problem wrong with them. That's the last thing I'm concerned about, is the child's genitals. Weird. Two, there's so many processes that it takes for children to even come to terms and this be something that they can express. It's illegal. It's not even allowed for children to have gender reassignment surgery. That's what I'm saying. People have inserted their assumptions and their ill-informed opinions and their thoughts influenced by hatred of trans people, right? No one's cutting off Zaya's genitals. No one has even mentioned that. No one has even said that. All they've talked about is how Zaya would like to identify herself as she and he, and that she would like to present herself as the name Zaya. Ain't nobody said nothing else. Like, and it's weird to me that people can't comprehend that children have an understanding of gender identity and how they feel and who they believe that they are. I have a child that is in my life. I'm not gonna say like in relationship, like how do I know this child, but this child is 4 years old. Last year, when they were 3 years old, I referred to them as cute. And he already is being socialized, conditioned to think that that's not for boys, I'm handsome. These kids already are being taught some type of concept of gender and have a full understanding. Now, the kid is wrong. The kid is wrong, but he already has an association as to what is a boy and what is a girl. At 3 years old, and y'all want to tell me that at 12 years old, and those in 9 years couldn't have make a conclusion of like, oh, this is what this is and this is what that is and this is the way I feel, and I don't identify with what y'all are pushing on me. I don't understand how that is so fucking hard to understand. Then you have people like Soraya, I think that's her name. She's irrelevant. She used to play a supporting role in Empire. She's then hopping on Instagram talking about, well, let's it's like, that's, I don't want my children to worry about, let's wait until they're an adult. Like, what are you interested in? Like what are your hobbies? And it's like, what does your hobbies have to do with like who you are and how you want the world to see you? Y'all think that this shit is like for funsies. Y'all think that this shit is like some extracurricular after school activity. Like, no, people are trying to be themselves. People are just trying to be themselves, and y'all think of this as like, oh, like, oh, You want to go on a field trip? You want to go to the moon? Like, no, y'all make this seem like as some astronomical, like just like imaginative fairy tale land type of idea, and it's like it's not. These are people's real life experiences, and you guys and y'all have trivialized it to being something as small as, oh well, what hobbies would you like to do instead? Like, it's weird to me that you wouldn't listen to your child and try to figure out what they are going through and what they are experiencing instead of dismissing your children and how they feel. It's the same type of rhetoric that then, because people will say, like, well, it's just my opinion, it's not that harmful. And it's like, no, your opinion then reaffirms ideologies that already exist in very transphobic people. And then what happens is those people who interact with trans people don't see them as human, see them as less than, and then their lives are in danger, whether that being harassed online or in person, being bullied, being beat up, and being killed, and being locked out of also resources of being able to get a job, being able to go to school, being able just to exist freely and go grocery shopping and go shopping at the mall. People stare and gawk at them because you guys have trivialized and you guys have minimized their identity, and you don't see them as being them as something being real. Y'all ain't seen fucking God. I know none of y'all niggas have seen God, but y'all believe in that more than a child saying that I am this, a physical being with molecules that breathes oxygen, and y'all won't give any validity to that. Blows my motherfucking mind. And the last person that I want to address is here on this platform is Tasha Kay. Just, it's really hard because I have a soft spot for black women of all the spectrums: cisgender black women, trans black women, queer black women, straight black women. I really do. I really think, like, unfortunately, even like the most problematic black woman is uh, is pretty funny and smart for the most part. Like, you can see like the 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 joy and attraction to black women, and so I have a soft spot, and there is some similarities, of course not the same at all, of being a black gay man and a black woman, but there is similarities in our experiences and the way society views us, and so I have such a soft spot. But Tasha K, you trash, girl. You trash. You out here spewing just lies and assumptions, talking about that, oh, Dwayne Wade's out here having a press tour of promoting his child's sexuality. One, like I said in the beginning, who said anything about his sexuality? No one's talking about Zaya having sex. No one has mentioned sex. We're only talking about her gender and the way she would like y'all motherfuckers to address her. That's been it. Tasha K has made claims of Gabrielle Union influencing his family and insinuating that Dwayne Wade may be queer. And it's just like, how did you get to that conclusion? How did y'all get to that conclusion? Oh, because you didn't read, you didn't educate yourself, you just spewed your fucking ignorance across the internet. And that shit is so frustrating. It's so frustrating, honestly, to see time and time again that people at bare minimum won't ask questions and try to understand. Because I've said this time and time again, I understand that in some, especially right now, I do believe that this is like new territory for black people to be talking about trans children existing. I know it's a new conversation. I know it's going to make a lot of people uncomfortable. And there's nothing wrong if you have questions to try to understand and not to spew your ignorance. That's fine. But a lot of y'all don't even want to ask the necessary questions to try to understand a black person's experience. That shit don't make no sense to me. It don't make no sense to me, and it frustrates me so fucking much. I do have to remind myself that I have to remind myself, and I had a really good mutual on Twitter had to remind me that this is since this is a new territory, it's gonna be a marathon in which we'll be able to make this progress in our community, but at least we're having the conversation. And as much frustration as you feel as a cisgender person, imagine the frustration and how triggering this may be for a trans person. And I say, you know what? Damn, okay, let me make sure to use my privilege, to use whatever platform, whatever voice I have to speak on the marginalized people of humanity, of the black community. Like, I want to be able to do that. So that's why I wanted to just quickly explain the difference between gender and sexuality, because people are out here with huge platforms just spewing ignorance, and then what that does is just reaffirm the ideologies of the audience, and in real life they go their day to day not seeing trans people as human and treat them less than. That's literally what it is. Y'all need to stop worrying about children having sex. Y'all need to stop worrying about what other people are doing with their children. Do some fucking research, because if y'all just hopped on this same phone that y'all use to record your videos, to produce your music, to promote yourself, is the same phone and internet you can use to find some information about some shit that you just have no clue about. You have no clue about. I would say that I would love to leave some links and stuff that I read, but you know what? Y'all do your research. This is a y'all problem. Like, y'all have to work on your transphobia and your homophobia, your queerphobia, your fearphobia, anything that is under the LGBT umbrella. Y'all have to work on that. That's a y'all problem. So please work on that problem in the meantime, and just understand that gender and sexuality are not the same. Cool. That's all the thoughts that I have on today's video. I ask you to please leave your comments down below. Please be respectful if you come across this video, because you'll just get blocked and deleted. No one's going to see your comment. No one. I get a little joy of like, you thought you had something important to say? Ah! If you have something important to say, turn on your camera and record and voice your opinions. There's plenty of trash opinions here on this platform anyway. So go ahead, do that, but you're not gonna do that in this space. So leave a comment, leave a question of concern and of curiosity and a place to educate yourself. Give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye!